All right, thank you. So I'm trying to extract the year from our date. So I'll use the year just like we have used the month to extract the month. We have used the day to extract the day out from our date, our column. Now we are trying to extract the year. Guess what we are going to use? Definitely year. Open bracket. As easy as that. Oh, I didn't start with the equation equals to open bracket and select. I have my 2014 and I have 2013 here also. Drag it down and we have our full date now. We have the month, the day, and we have the year. And now we can generate another date. Let's call this date 2 for now. And we use the date function. We have used months to extract month. We use the day to extract the day out. We use the year function. And now that we are going to use the dates, let me show you what I'm trying to say here. At the beginning, I have like 2 and I have 4, let's say 6, and I have like 2019. So it's not a must that is showing that it is year, it is month, it is day. Even though it is number, we can use our date function to convert it to a day, to a date. Let me show you. Equals to date. And let me show you what Excel is writing here. It says return the number that represent the date in the Microsoft Excel datetime code. Every region has their own way of writing date, but Excel is showing us how it wants its own to be. So the first one is specified. We need to input here is our year. So let's say this is our year 2019, then followed by comma, and you see it turned to month. You can see it make it bold, which is trying to let us know that where is our sales reference for our month. So we choose the 6 comma, and where is our cell reference for the day, which is this. See, we have our date here, which is day 2 of June 2019. So we will be trying to do the same thing with our date 2, which is equals to date, open bracket, select our year, comma, select our month, and now it will be best we select the digit, the numeric, just to make our data uniform, because the year, the day, they're all in numeric. So we select the date, the month, then we select for the day, which is 1, and when we press enter, we have our date well properly formatted now. And this is what I mean. Now that we have 2 dates, let me show you the reason why I did that. If I try to take a drop down on the date, see how our date is here. Excel is not even saying it as date, because it will I'll collapse everything in the year that they belong to. Now let's check the one we just created. You see we have 2014 and 2013. You see now we have a properly formatted date. And now that we have the date 2, and we need to get rid of our dates, so we have to remove the formula from the column that we have extracted, we have generated with the date, and for us to be able to delete this, so we won't be having errors, because Excel can't even make any reference to the cells we're making it to. So we just highlight the whole thing we are trying to do, we copy it with Ctrl C, then we paste it back. We paste it back with Ctrl V, and don't forget I mentioned something about this control. How do you want to paste it? We paste as values, so the formula won't be there anymore. And now if you look at our date, you see we are not having a formula, rather we're having a date. Let me press Ctrl Z. So it can't go back. Okay, it can. And now if we come to our date, that was before we copy and paste. See what we have in our formula bar. We are having a formula which is making reference to other cells. But after we do the copy and paste, we have the formula out. Now we're having our values in our formula bar. So if you delete our dates, you see we don't have errors, and we can name this back to date. Now we have dates, and we can delete this also because it's double now, and we have months, we have month value also. And the other day I was saying something about how we can categorize our Trailblazer, the 1000, 2000, how we can do that. And I come up with an idea. It's creativity. As a data analyst, you need to have this creative mindset also. And you should be able to play around with your data in a fun way, but don't forget the reason why you're doing that, so you don't lose the meaning or the value of your data. So I'll create another column with Control Shift plus. So I'll name this. We can name this model, or we call this version. But I'll name this. You can create your own too with any name you want. I'll name this model. And what I'm trying to do here is I want Excel to find out anywhere it's seeing 1000. I want it to show that it's seeing 1000. And if you can't see 1000, I want it to return no values. So I'll use the search function because I'm trying to search for 1000 in the text. And if you look up on search, and it says return the numbers of the character at which a specific character or text string is first found, reading the left to right, not case sensitive. That is, even though it's uppercase or lowercase, it doesn't care, it will still bring it out. Find text. What are we looking for? We're looking for 1000. So I input 1000, then comma. What next? Within what text? I want it within this place. And start number. I'm not specifying that. I just want it to bring out 1000 for me. Why are you getting that? And when I press enter, so I'm having 13. I'm having 13 someplace. I'm having 10. I know it's not really making any sense. And I'm having error. And we don't need to do that because we know what we're doing here. We are actually looking for 1000, and for the place that we don't have 1000, that's where we're having values. But I'm not done yet, and don't forget this cells has a conditional format on it, so we'll remove that since we don't need it. And you see we have a conditional format. We have actually created it in our data cleaning processes. We are trying to look at the unit sold, or I don't know, maybe it's under the product we are looking. Then we are trying to say something that will occur twice. That's the reason why we use the conditional formatting. I tried to create another column, so Excel will just formatted the new one beside the old one. So I'll delete the conditional format. Are you still with me, guys? Hello. All right, thank you. And the next one I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to I've searched for 1000, but Excel, the search function actually return 13. That is, if you count this Trailblazer T1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Trailblazer, the blazer is 6 and 5, and like 1, 2, and the first place is found in that one is on 13. If you count it, you will count the space also. That's why it's getting 13. And here you can't find anywhere it's saying, you can't even see 1, talk less of the rest of the 0. And if you can't see the 1, it's out. And now we are trying to, so it will return 1000 we actually found for. So it will return that value, like, is it true or false? Can you see it? Yes or no, true or false? So we use its number. So this is what they call a nested function. That is a function in a function, or you say a formula in a formula. And those that have is, this thing is applicable in every coding line. So the little things you are even doing here is a code on its own. So we use its number function, number. I said check whether a value is a number and return true or false. So I'll use a bracket. So the search is inside the is number function. And if you see that our bracket is just color code it as red, which is telling us that the search is the one that owns the red bracket and this number is the one that owns the black one. So I'll use another bracket to close that function, and I press enter. And now we're having true or false. Everywhere we're having 1000 we're having true, and everywhere we're having 2000, that is Excel can't see 1000 in them, that's why it's returning false. But what we're trying to do is you are trying to make the 1000 to be light and the 2000 to be pro. And we can use our if function just like the way we have used it for this column. If you remember, guys, if function, like you have to specify, Excel, go and check this for me. If it's this, I want you to return this. If it's not, return this. This thing is applicable in any coding program, any coding program. So if you have in mindset that Excel is very low, maybe it's because you don't know how to use it, or you don't know the value yet. So, and the more you start using Excel and you start using other programming tools, you see the similarities between them. And one thing about Excel, you see all these cells that they have added is to make everything easier. Compared to the other code. And the only thing that Excel doesn't have is it has number of rows it can contain. Let's see. It can contain 1 million, yes, 1,480,000 rows. But other programming they can handle more than that. That's just a little. I think they have improved that to that level. It's not always up to that before. So if you continue from where we stop on our model, and so we use the if function. I hope I'm not teaching myself. And under the if, you see if error, if not available. But that's for another case. We are talking about if that is if everything here is true. We're having true. That is everywhere we're having true in our if I cancel this, everywhere we're having true, we want to convert it to light, and everywhere we're having false, we want to convert it to a pro. So that's why I'm using the if function. I'm using the if function. Oh, I think there's someone here trying to get in. Sorry about that. Let me try reaching out. So I'll use the if function, and I want to specify the return I want. If it's true, I want it to return. Don't forget, if you want to type in a text string, what I mean by text string is that it is non-numeric. You need to open a quotation for it and close it with quotation mark. So I want it to return light. So I'll write light inside the quotation. Then if not, I want it to return pro. I'll open quotation for pro also, PRO. And when I press close bracket, and if you look at our function here, we have like 1, 2, 3. We have like 3 functions. That is, the search is nested inside the if number, and the search and the if number they are all nested into the if function. This is just logic, and don't be afraid about this. And it's very easy, for real. I'm telling you. I remember when I started using my if function for the first time, I come across if function. I'm always like, wow, this is kind of big and difficult to understand. It's very easy. It just practice make improvement. And now when I press enter, you see everything here has changed to light. And when let me filter out the light, you see that everything we have in there is all those one with the 1000. You see everything we have here now is 1000 for the lights. And when I press on for the pro, see everything I have here, I filter out for the pro, they are all 2000s. So it will even give us more insights and how much money we generated from the pro version, from the pro model, and how much money were made from the light model. So we are now making more sense of our data here, and that's one of the superpower the data analyst will possess. Now that our data, we have processed our data now. We have gone from data cleaning to data processing. We have processed our data now. Now we're moving on to our analysis phase. In our analysis phase, and Excel have this a model that they call pivot table. It's under the insert ribbon. and it's under the table column. This pivot table. You can ask Excel to recommend one for you. Maybe you don't want to do much work. Excel is good at that. Excel is going to read your data and suggest what it thinks you might need. But we don't want that. We are just going to create one ourselves. And it's saying select a table or range and table. The reason why it's writing table 1 is because we have created table with our data here, and that's why it's writing table 1, and we didn't even name our table, but Excel automatically name it table 1. I'm coming to that. And it said choose where you want the pivot table report to be placed. Of course, you want it to be on a new sheet, unless maybe you're working with a small data, but it's best practice is for you to create it on a new sheet. But let me click on cancel, so I'll show you what I mean by the data. And if you have created a table with your data, you have this column that will be highlighted, table tools. So you can click on it, and if you come to the right hand side of the Excel, top right hand side, you see table name, and you can change our table name here. Let's call it sales. So you see what I mean. And the other time when we're trying to create a pivot table, now we're trying to create pivot table, you see that it changes to sales now. And I can say no, I'm not using this, this is what I want. So I can select what I want. I can select them. It will still work that way. It's not a must to create table, but best practice is for you to create a table when you want to use a pivot, so your data they all stick together. So I'll create the pivot table with our sales table and on a new sheet, and we have our pivots. And first thing I will do is I will name this, so I won't be looking for it every now and then that I want to use it. I'll call this pivots. Let's call it pivots. And if you look at on the right hand side where we have pivot table field, we have model, we have products, we have model, we have units sold, we have manufacturing price, we have total sales. There's a space here, I didn't see that. And everything we have here is everything we have on our table. You can try to cross check that on yourself also, but you're not working with the data, so we just go through with it. Any question, guys?
No question.
Okay, 15 minutes left. So we just do a little bit, and when we come back, we finalize everything. Joy, are you with me? Oyeka?
I'm here.
Alright, good. Okay, now our data, we have created pivot table and we have everything here. And it's always looking like you want to perform magic. Yes, because Excel has make everything easy and just drag and drop. And now the first thing we want to do is I want to see the uh, what is the question? First thing we like to do. Okay, we can see the total revenue generated, and for us to do that, we have to select the products. And I just checked the products, and Excel has bring it to the row, because Excel also has its own brain too. Understand that no, this has to be on the row, but sometimes maybe I don't want it to be on the row. I can say no, I want it to be on the column. You see the difference, the way it's arranged. This actually still work. Maybe the data will be tabulating under this, they'll be very, very long, but I don't want that. I want it to be on a row, so I'll have my values beside them. And I want the profit. Don't forget, our profit is our revenue, and Excel know that it is a value. I can bring it, I want to be on this. You see, it's not even making sense, so I'll return it to our value. And we have adventurer 1000. The total profit is for it is 26,400. And if you go back to our data, just to confirm, for adventurer 1000, let's search for adventurer 1000. You see, we have our profit is, you see, 26,400. So it's not like Excel is generating data on its own. It's actually what we have on our data, and we can double click on it. Excel will still open it up for us. We can double check to click. We can click on anyone to bring it up, and as we're doing that, it's creating a data for it. Alright, that's that, and let's reformat this with Ctrl Shift 1, or you just go to your data, see data, and on our home can specify what we want it to be. And yeah, I can say I want it to be in currency or accounting. You know, all this in, if you check it in accounting, they don't use negative in their values, and they don't use zeros. Rather, they use, I think American use brackets instead of putting a negative sign in front of their figures. They will just use brackets. But let's use number. It's currency though, but let's just use numbers, so it will show it. And we want it to specify to indicate 1,000, to indicate thousands. So we go back to it. I'll just use the shortcut Control Shift 1, sorry, Control 1, and the 1,000 separator is already checked here, so I'll just click on OK, and now our data is well properly formatted. Let me delete this. You can't undo deleting sheets, and you might be removed some data now. Alright, we have our profit, and you see the grand total of our profit is 435k. 435k. And if we go back to, let me see, if I double click on this, it will bring the value out. Okay, just bringing the worksheet here, and we can do that quick analysis on our profits. We can just highlight everything, and Excel have this a bottom calculator on its own. You see we have 435,150.87, and we have the average, we have the count, we have 42 products. So if we go back to our pivots, you see Excel have just calculated for us as grand total. You see how essential a pivot table is. As a data analyst, it is important for you to master this, because it will help you a lot to perform some analysis faster. So I'll create more space, so because I can put other things on top, because I need to, where I'll be indicating my KPIs. I'll press Ctrl Shift plus plus to add more space, and I can say total revenue, and I'll just, I want to bring this grand total here, so I won't be looking for it every time, because it's a KPI, key performance indicator. Like that, those kind of things, like key values of your findings, your stakeholders or your boss wants to know about. So I'll press equals to, and I'll make reference to B52, and I'll press enter. And every time, okay, let me format this to Shift 1. I have a grand total. So even when I filter out some data here, you see the value changes also. You have 3,002, because I filter only for this product here. So let me remove the filter back. I just want to show you how pivot table and sales reference works. And now we have our total revenue. How many minutes do we still have left? Okay, we have 9 minutes. Before we continue, 9 minutes, do you have any questions, guys? Hello? Hello?
Not yet. Not yet.
Alright. Or should we just close it now? Then, let's just finish our 9 minutes. Let's finish our 9 minutes. By when it gets to 5 minutes, I will close it, and we all take a break. Then by 8 o'clock, I'll be sharing another link so we can continue. So we have our analysis on the profits, which is revenue already, which means that we are making money, you actually gain 435,000. So we can create another one. We are trying to create another pivot calculation here. So we just, instead of inserting another one, we just highlight that a pivot analysis, then we copy it, then paste it to another cells, and you see we are now having double of it. But that's not what we're trying to do here. We are just trying to create another one. So we uncheck for profit and product. And what can we still do here? We can do for uh, units sold. Yes, you can do for units sold. And we can, should we break it down or we put it on the whole product? We can do for, let's do model, that is how many units of light of our product were sold and how many units of pro were sold. Units sold. So we have 37,000 and 22,000 for pro, which means that we sold more of light than pro. And in the real world is what is actually happening. Like a lot of people will actually buy iPhone X compared to a number of people that will buy iPhone XX Max. And we create another one, just copy and paste. Then we uncheck this. Let's say we want to see the sales or manufacturing price for the lights. So we have used 2000 to create all the 37k of the light, and we have used 2895 to sell units of 22k. So we can do that, and we can still go on and break this down instead of us bringing the lights. No, I'm just trying to make this uh, simple, and so we can all understand what I'm trying to say here. And it's not like I can't go on and bring in a lot of data. It depends on the kind of this problem you're trying to solve. And so I'll just do the small one again. I didn't talk about difference between dashboard and a report. I'll be doing that. I'll be sharing that. I should do that tonight. So we have done for manufacturing price, units sold, and we can do for profits also on the lights and the. So I'll just copy everything here, then I'll paste. Let me check this. Unlike the last time that. All right, this 5 minutes. So let's take a break now. In the next 5 minutes, we'll get back. It's 8 p.m. guys. I'll be sharing the links, and I can share the links, and we can all join when it's 8. All right, guys. Let's take a break for now. Right on time. All right. So we have created uh, for sales manufacturing price for units sold, uh, the revenue which you have used some of profits. And now another thing we can do in our data? Don't forget we have dates. You can see our sales performance over the time. So let's get on with the dates, and I'll paste this down here. Then I would uncheck model and manufacturing price, and I'll check dates, and I'll check profits. I can check profits, and we see it's still the same thing because it's sales over time. So it has to be the same thing with what we have down here as well as what we have here, because it's still the same data we used. So we have, how many chart do we have now? We have how many data table we have? Sum of profits, some units sold, and manufacturing price, and sales performance over time. And I'm skeptical based on our charts. Maybe we should use total sales price, and instead of profit with the negative we have here. It's look like some kind of anomalies. This is very, very different from the rest of the data we have here. But the data is not a live data, so one thing we'll have done about that, we'll have exclude this out. So we didn't do that. So let's just take out the profit and replace it with total sales amounts over time. And now it will be different. Reason why? Because this is profit. After we have deduct our manufacturing price, that's why we have this, and the value we have here is sales. So if you can still create another one for total cost of production. So let's do that over time. Do we need to do over time? Let's just do it so we understand what I'm trying to say. And now we uncheck for total sales amount and replace with cost of production, total cost of production. And we have 6 million and we have 7 million here. Let's do a quick math. So we see how our profit is different from cost of production and our sales price. And we just take out our sales minus cost. See, we have, let me format this, Ctrl Shift 1. We have 435, which is the same thing we have our total revenue here. That is the money we have left, 431. After we have removed the money that we used to do business, and this is the money after we have sell our products. But we need to know, are we making gain or not? The money that we used to do business, we are taking it out of the total our sales amounts. So we are left with 435k. So I'll delete that, and now we have cost of production over time. And so we'll just be doing chart for total sales amounts, and we won't be doing chart for cost of production. Let's try to do another thing, and we can try. We want to have more idea, although we can do that on our dashboard, but we can still do it here also. And everything we are doing here is not a must that we put it on our dashboard. So I'll paste this down here. And should we use profit gain type? Let's just do it for learning sake. And I will uncheck the model, or we can still use the model instead of the profit type. And I want to see the profit type. Yes, you can see the profit type for that. It should be on the value 21. Let me try to see. No, it won't count that way, so I'll take it out. I'm trying to show the percentage of grand total, that is which of the model is bringing in more money. You can actually find it out from here. Like if we have used our profit, okay, we can use profit then. We can use profit, which means this is the money that we generate from our lights, and the money we generated for the pro. And why this is showing as value, we can actually try to make it as percentage. In the real sense, we can do the calculation for percentage is just let's calculate for the light first. Okay, for the light equals, am I sure about this, divided by the grand total, which is 70%, 7.7. So I'll convert this back to percentage, and I can do that on my own tab ribbon and click on percentage. I have 71 approximately. If I try to bring out 0 and put it in 2 decimal places, because I'll be using 2 decimal places here, so it make more sense that way. Let me see, maybe it will work if I drag this down, because I didn't make that as constant. It didn't work. And okay, I can still do it. This get pivot table A10. Where's our A10? And I really don't specify profit model light, but it's still not working. Let's leave that. And equals pro divided by grand total 29%. And if you sum it up, 70.71 plus 29.29, it will definitely give us 100%. See, 100%. But why doing this when our pivots can help us with that? We just come to under the pivot table field on the value, because we are trying to show the percentage of the total of the profit. So we click on the drop down value field and show value as the calculation we want, percentage of grand total. Then we click on OK. You see, it's as easy as that. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, what can we do here? Total units sold. Have we done that? Units sold. Yes, units sold. We can create total. Sorry, too later. Total units sold. You know, I'm having feeling this class might be longer. Can we plan units sold? I'll do the same thing just like I do my total revenue and units sold. I have my units sold here. Let me format, because I'll be creating other things here. I'll just format it all at once. Control Shift 1 to format as number with the thousands indicator. And total units sold, manufacturing price, yes, cost of manufacturing or production cost. I can call that production cost. And I'll do the same thing. I'll pick it, manufacturing price, and we have used 5,000 to produce all of this. And the selling price, what can we call that? Sales. Can we call that sales? This is total revenue. Yes, total revenue is different from sales. Total revenue is after we have deducted our sales price. Okay, let me call this then sales price. Sales. Let me just call it sales. Total sales amount. Yes, total sales. Then I'll pick it from here. This total sales amount. You can pick it. But we have used overtime for this. We could have done the same thing just the way we did for on the light and the pro, but I didn't do that, so I'll select this. As long as we're having our values, and this production cost is not correct. Yes, it's not. Production cost, sum of production cost, and this total sales amount and cost of production. Exactly, it's supposed to be 6.6 million, so we choose the wrong one. Something is wrong with that table. We need to look into it. Am I making sense, guys? And enter. So we are having 4 KPIs. Hello. Am I making sense? Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Thank you. So let's dive in back. So I have 4 KPIs. At least, how much did we make? How many did we sold? How much did we use to produce? And how much did we sell for? You know, instead of me picking up this revenue, I can actually just do my maths and call it total revenue. This is what I mean by that. So I still have the same figures, and I think I'll even leave this. I will love this. I'll leave that one also. Okay, I have for sum of units sold and units sold units sold. Okay, manufacturing price, and I think I have to create for uh, sales price for this model. So I'll, I'll paste it here, and I'll change the manufacturing price. I don't even know why the manufacturing price is of that amount, and total sales amount. And maybe I'll just change this. I should change this manufacturing price. Okay. The manufacturing price is not the total cost of production. That's why the value is like that. Total cost of production. Now we have 6 million. All right, we have enough now. We can create charts. From this it will be bogus on our chart, but we can do top 10. Let's try that. We can do top 10 profits. Yes. First thing we like to do is I find my own way around these issues like this, because I've tried several times to sort data on this side. I don't know why they just didn't put it, but there's a trick. Just like we have our drop down here, we don't have it here. So we can, let's start first. Let's say we are sort. If you sort it, we are sorting it by the details and not their values. But we wanted to sort by values, so we can't do that on this table. But with values, with filters by top 10, so it will shrink our data by top 10 sum of profit. It's going to use the values that they have to bring out the top 10. That is our top selling. Or we can still do top bottoms, the relegating one, and that will have to be the one where we're having our negative. We're actually going for positivities here. So sum of profits, and we have this. But if you look at our data, it's not sort like with the values in such a way. When we put our data on the chart, we want it to be sort. So we clear this, and we can bring this back, and Control Shift L, just the way we used to bring the filter on the table or on our data. You select the cell beside our values where we want it to be. Control Shift L, then voila, we have our drop down on the values, and we can sort it. We want it. And one thing about sorting, it's inverse on our chart. We have the largest one to be as number 1, but on the chart it will turn it to the lowest one to the bottom one. So I don't need to do that and come back to it. So let's just know this now. So I'll sort Z to A to Z. Now we have the negative one, and now I can remove it back. I'll take the cursor back to beside our table headings, then Ctrl Shift L to remove it, and now I can do my value filter and do the top 10 again. Top 10. Now we have it's now in the way we want it, in the real sense, and we have 1.9 down to 65k. And now we can create a chart with this. When we go to the inserts, you have to just take anywhere on the table. Are you following, guys? Hello?
Yes,
All right, thank you, Joy. And just take anyone. I can select any cells within the table, our pivot table, and I'll click on insert. I can ask Excel to recommend anyone for me. It's making recommendation, but do I want this? It's up to you to decide. But I personally, I don't want this, so I'll go for the bar chart instead. Then, or you press OK or you double tap, and now we have this. If you look at our data, you see this well properly formatted in such a way that it's eye-catchy. Our stakeholder or our boss or anybody we are working for, they can easily identify that Little Balancer is the top where we are making more money. And reason because maybe we have used low amount of money in the production. We have used more money to produce it, and we actually make a big income from it. So I can name this table our chart. I can give it a title, then I'll change that to top gainer. I just use that word. You can use anything you want. When you're working this stock news, how they used to say top gainer, top loser, when they'll be showing different banks. So I'll call this top gainer, or I'll call this top 10 gainer. Top 10 gainer. And one thing we can do with our chart again, if you look at our chart on the horizontal axis, it's showing 1,000, 2,000. Looking at the chart, you can't even know exactly how much money we gain on the chart. So we need to introduce our data labels, and this, you just come to you click on the chart, you see the plus sign, and we click on the data label. There are different type of data label you can select here, maybe call out, inside, but we're using the call out one. Excel is even recommending one for us. So we have data label. Now that we have data label already, so we don't even need this axis anymore, and you can come to our axis, and we are going to remove the primary horizontal, and also you can still remove the grid line. And our data, they are all the same thing, they are all products. We can remove the legend. You see, they are all same color, so it's not need. Now see, look at our chart. Even without looking at the data itself, we know that Little Balancer is number 1 on the top 10 list, and Duo Explorer 2000 is the 10th on the list. At least we have 42, but we know that this top 10, that's where we are making more money. And on our charts, I'll just be doing this first one, and we can look into the rest ourselves. And for mine, I'm trying to remove this field, design. This is the field, and I'll uncheck for this, and check for this also, and I'll uncheck. Or I can even click on idle. I can click on idle, and now look at our chart. Now it's properly formatted. Only this one, save. You might have solved maybe one of the questions you asked, or one of the problem, or you are passing an insight, and now the company will know that, oh, Little Balancer, we are making more money because people are buying more of it. That's why we are making more money, and we have actually used the low amount of money to produce this product. Okay, we are done with the chart. Let's copy this, and we can create another chart, another sheet on our worksheet, and call it our dashboard, BOARD, and come back to our pivot, then copy this chart for now and paste it on the dashboard. Ctrl V. Even though it's on different one, if you do anything to this table, it still affects the chart here. That's where Excel work. All these charts, all these sheets, you can connect them together in such a way that when you input one here and you input 2 on another sheet, you can say you want to be having your answers on your sheet 10, and you'll be having your 2 plus 4, you'll be having it, the result will be coming out on another sheet. Okay, less of talk, let's get back to work. And now we're having two values there. Please, what kind of charts will you recommend for me to use, guys? You can look at the picture I shared to the group, like when you're selecting charts. What kind of chart will you recommend for this table, guys? Please, I need your response. And if there's no idea, please don't be shy, just say no idea so we can go on. Hello, Sadiq. Onyeka.
No idea.
No idea. We can use a bar chart. We can use column chart. You can use column chart, or we can use a bar chart. Let's, in this case, I will suggest we use a column chart. So I will insert this column chart here. I can bring it down now. select one. So we have a column chart, and we can do the same thing we did for this chart up here. How I've make it more clearer with while we remove the details that it won't be necessary. And you see it's bringing out values, and we can't even get to know. We have to start squinting our eyes to know where it lies. So we can remove the grid line, remove the legend, and we need the axis. We don't need the other axis, the x-axis. That's the horizontal, the vertical. And we can call out our data label. And also on our format, design, where is that again? Analyze and idle. Now our data is well formatted. And if I like, I will say light to be yellow and pro to be blue, but there's no need for that. Our chart is making more sense this way just by looking at it. And we have two charts now, and we can still go on and do for cost of production. Do we need to do cost of production? Yes. And we have total sales amount, and we are trying to create a chart for it. So instead of creating a lot of charts, we can incorporate total cost of production and total sales price. You can bring them together. So for this table, I will introduce total sales amount. So when I'm creating my charts, the two of them can be visualized together, which will really make more sense that way. So I'll use bar charts for this also, and insert a bar chart. You see what we have in here now, and we know now we need a legend. And I would have said we should rename this for our legend. Well, let's just leave it. This all under design. This all under design, and because of time, so I won't be paying more attention to the legend. But yet you still know what he's talking about. And if you look at the light, the total cost of production is lower, and the total sales amount is higher, which means that we make money. Like if you see the gap between themselves, it's obvious that we make more money compared to pro, where the margin between the cost of production and sales amount is lesser compared to light. So you can do the same thing we did for the previous charts to make it more clearer, and remove the unnecessary details, and remove the grid line. We need the legend, so we keep that. And let's see our data callouts, data label, and it's kind of too big, so let's just remove it and remove the axis, the vertical axis. So we leave it this way, and we can proceed again. Now let's try to create a chart for sales over time. Guys, you should know this. You should know the kind of chart we use for a data over time. Please, what kind of chart are we going to use for this? Hello. Okay.
You said you're going to use bar chart.
We can use bar chart, but it's not ideal. There's line chart. Line chart is better. So we use line chart, and just like we did for the sales over time, you could have done for units sold over time also, but this is just for learning process. And there are a lot of things we can bring out from this our data. So this cost of production, we are not doing that. We are doing for total sales amount, that's sales over time. Then we insert a line chart. This is a line chart instead of clicking on recommend. And let's make more sense of our data. We remove the legend. We don't need legend. And we can add a trend line to see the trajectory of our performance. Is it going up or is it going down? And what else can we do here? We can remove this axis. Yes, the vertical, and we can leave the dates. We can remove the grid line, or we can leave the grid line. can leave the grid line or we remove it. Anyone, just to show how it's going. But for fancy, I like to take out the grid line. And the other grid line we can add, I would prefer to add the vertical one where it to be showing each month. And okay, it's look cool this way. Don't forget, this is not all about us most of the time. It's about people who are passing the information to. We need to consider the most, because we even how we want it to be, we still understand it. I'll remove the grid line. I'll remove the grid line. So these are our sales over time. So I will change the title of our chart, and I'll name this sales. And don't forget, it's coming from 2013 down to 2014. Please mute your mic, please. So I'll label it 2013 down to 2014 in brackets. Now we have one chart, two charts, three charts. We have four charts. Let's see, maybe we can create another one. And yes, we can create a pie chart from our profit margin, just to indicate where we are making more sales. You know, it's obvious on this line chart, but yeah, we are using cost of production and sales price. So yeah, we use a pie chart, and I'm using a donut. This donut, this everything here is a pie chart. And I said avoid 2D, 2D, 3D. I mean, you see the way 3D is, because we're trying to put this on our dashboard, and although they are important in some cases, but we don't even need to. So I'll stick to my the pie chart, and I can name this. We don't have much thing to do here, so I'll just go to analyze, then I'll hide everything down here. So I can call this profit by type, profit by model, by model. And we have labeled this. We didn't label this, we didn't add the title. I think I've deleted the chart title, and this is going to be cost of production, or I'll call it, yes, cost of production. The blue line is production, so we want it to come first. These are things we need to take note of. I won't be saying total sales amount, but on our chart it is cost of production that's coming first. So I'll say cost of production, or I'll say production cost by selling price, or sales, total sales, and the other one here, what do we use here? These lights, what data do we use here? Okay, unit sold. This unit sold. So I'll change this on for this. I'll label it unit sold. Units sold. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 charts, and what we're trying to do now is bring all these charts together. Like a dashboard is comprises of a lot of charts. So I'll copy this. I would control down, and I'll click on this, and for the unit sold also, you have already copied the top data, so we don't need to select that. Then I'll press Ctrl C, and I'll go to my dashboard and paste them there. Ctrl V, and everything here. I have everything. And now what I need to do, let me zoom out so we can all see all the data we have. Let me bring them together. Okay, they're still grouped together. Let me bring it. I can bring this up, then I'll zoom out, and now I can resize them. And from the charts, I should know that sales over time is look more important. It's not like the rest are not important, but there's no way on how you want to design your data, your dashboard. And I have my total cost. I can bring it under, and okay, not bad. And I can bring units sold, and I want my units sold to come ahead of the cost of production and cost of sales price. Let me shrink this also. I'm still coming. You still properly format them. And I said we have 5 charts. Where are the rest? 1, 2. Okay, this is another chart. I'll bring this down here and zoom out. Okay, and I'll shrink this also. I'm still coming. We will still properly format them. And I'll bring this under. Now, what's the size I want to use for my chart frame? I can start with the first one. Since this one is up, so this one will be dependent of the whole size the two of them are making up to. So we go to format, and we have our height and our width, and let me give it 8 centimeter by 7 centimeter. So everything will be properly formatted. I can do the same thing for this also. 8 by 7, 8 by 7. Okay, and the width for our chart is 7. For this to not to be too big for the whole of the dash, 7 plus 7, which is going to give us 14. And for space within them, let me just I'll give it 15. Format, and I'll say the width of this. Format, selecting the chart, the graph on the chart. That's why I can add it up here, but not to waste time on that. Let's continue for this. Format, 8 by 7, 8 and 7, and we have for this also the last one, and 8 by 7. See, I'll be using my creative idea here. So as a data analyst, it's not just you dealing with data. You need to care about people you're passing your information to, and appealing. How fascinating your data can be too, how catchy. It's not of that important, but I'll tell you there are people like that's what they are studying. Data visualization. That's their niche. So I'll shrink this automatically, like approximately it should be 15. And I'll try bring this to this edge and align this with the rest of them, and this also, and we have voila, Ctrl Z, voila, we have our dashboard here. We have our dashboard. This dashboard, we are not done yet. There's still a couple of things we can do with it. Let me try bring everything to the top of the sheet. So I will select everything again, and I can even group them. because I don't think there's anything I want to do again. So I'll just go to format and I will group them, and if I need to separate then I can. This thing grouped. Let me select them and format group. Okay, they are grouped now. Let me group them again. Group. Okay, they are all grouped now. So when I select, I'm selecting a. Okay. So I can move them up to the screen, up topmost of the screen. We are not done yet, so don't forget we still have our KPIs, and KPIs need to be in a place that is well seen. Sorry about that. So, and we title our dashboard. We insert a shape. Can give it shape. Let's say a round rectangle, and we drag down and can reduce the size. And we call this sales analysis dashboard. I can reformat that text such a way that people can read. And let me increase the size, make it bold, and I don't need to change the color. White is okay, and I can align center, middle, and center. And now what next we are trying to do? We are trying to bring our KPIs, all of this, we are trying to introduce it to the dashboard also, and we can do that like insert another shape, and let's use a rounded rectangle also, and let me copy this. We have 4 of them. I can put this here, and I can select, and I can tell Excel to format them, to align them. You know, all these things that are almost in every Microsoft application is still in Word also. Distributes horizontally. See the gap between them. The gap between them now is not even, though this is not up well. Okay, so I can name this revenue. I can reformat it to let's use 16. 16 is okay. I make it bold, and align center, and align middle center, and I can make this units. Can make, let's name this units sold. Let me format that home 16 also, and bold. Open here, this is too large. Okay, can expand a bit. Okay, so it will contain it. And the next one is production cost. No, I will just copy this instead of typing it again. And okay, and okay, it's not there. Let me just type it out. Production cost, and let me give it more space. I think I won't be increasing the size of this to be too big. For, you know, we're not dealing with that aesthetics here. We are more concerned about understanding how these things work. Okay, are you following, guys? So
Yes.
all right. What about yes. All right, good. And we have revenue, we have units sold. This is not aligned middle. You know, one thing about what you need to know, you need to pay attention to details and uniformity. You need to make everything the same. It's just the way human being thinks, and you need to understand that as a data analyst. Okay, and I'll be putting sales, total sales. Yes, total sales. And format this okay, 12 and bold. Okay, we have total sales, and now we are trying to okay, we can move all of this. Let's select all of them and move them up a bit. You know, you can come up with your own design. It's okay. There's no one way to it. Just know that this thing you're doing, and people will have difficult moment to understand it. We have less time left. Okay, and now the next thing I want to do is bring my values. If not for time, there's a way I can actually format this so it will be showing in 4.1 million. We can do that, and this one will be showing in 60k. Instead of showing all this, it will show 60k, and this will be showing 4m. We can do that, and let's just learn in the simple way, and we can do that ourselves later on. So I'll use the same thing to bring the value for them, then create 4 of them. I mean, total revenue, cost, and units sold, and last one, revenue. But okay, that's like 15 minutes left. Let me fasten up. And I'm trying to bring values, so I won't be typing inside. Rather, I'll be pressing equals to while selecting where I want it to be. Then I'll be selecting the cell reference. Now I have my values in a text box, and I can format this also just the way I did for the rest of them. Okay. This is going to work. White color. Okay. And bold. And so it will contain it. Then we do for total units sold equals pivot table, enter. Okay, it's not working. I think I've wasted time. I shouldn't have copied all of this. I should have just do it in the simple way. And this is what I'm trying to do here. Instead I will start taking it one after the other. I will explain what I'm trying to do, and we see how it works and how cool it is. I know that PD4 pivot D4 is talking about this sheet here, that is where the data is coming from, and I know that my units sold is beside the revenue, which is E. So if I come here and change the values here, the formula here, instead of D I put E, enter. See, the value changes to our unit value, units sold to 60k. See, it's cool that way, that I have to do it. I don't have to start picking it one after the other. Bold and white. Let me format this. I can reduce the size. It will contain it. And total cost is F and G for sales. I know that already, so I'll just come here and change it to, is it G, right? G, yes, G. 7, yes. Total cost, sorry, is F. Total cost is F. not to waste time, you see the way I did for the rest of this, and let me bring the value, and this one is G present time, and home 12 white and bold. I'll do it for this also, 12 bold and white. Voila, our dashboard is ready. Bonus part, and why our data, we have to scroll down for it because it is Excel. So let's just bring everything, up here. I have to ungroup this format and ungroup so I can bring everything up. I can bring the other one also up. I'll show you the reason I'm saying this. So people that are trying to read it, since it is Excel, that's why you have to plan how you want to solve your work before you even start. Now I have to start finding a way to bring all of this back to the center. You have like 5 charts, and which I can do by just selecting everything, and the last one, and I'll just group it. I'll group everything together, and when I drag it, they will all move together, and I can still expand this. And to make it more beautiful again, you can go to the view. So remove all those boxes, formula bar, remove the formula bar, remove the heading, remove the grid line. Now we have our dashboard. You can see we have our dashboard. I know you might have come across this online. And to make our dashboard more interactive, let's try to create slicer. I've talked about slicer before, and let's see what kind of slicer we want to create. Okay, we can create slicer for the months, and we can create slicer for the model. Yes, you can create slicer for the model. So let's create slicer. We go to our pivots and select, and under insert we find slicer. This is our slicer here. We are trying to create slicer for model, and what should we be creating slicer for again? Month name. Yes, month name. We have those two slicer, and we need to specify where they will be connecting to, and which is going to be under option and report connector. Had they been name our table, we'll have a better understanding of it, but let's just choose all. I hope it won't go wrong. So we won't be selecting the one we don't want it to interact with. That's for model, and for month name we select everything also. So we see that we will be able to do more analysis on our dashboard, like how many did we sell in April 2013. Oh, we don't have April 2013 in our data, so we paste down here, only copy one, or copy the other one, Ctrl C, then we paste. You can arrange this thing the way you want it. So I'll shrink this down and put it beside it. I can even put it on this chart, but let me just put it this side. Now put this, and I'll bring it down. Let me show you what slicer does before we start talking about. Okay, let me just do more. There's that thing. Format. Okay, blue. This color is okay though. You can still change the whole color of this if you want. And format. I don't know. I have to start looking for that. All right, let's leave the color aside. We have a few minutes left. And if I click on light, you see everything here is showing for light. Every data we have here. You see how it has changes. Little balancer is still number 1 on our top gainers. Little balancer, and we could have format our data label here. We'll have format them in such a way that it will contain it. We can do that. We can do all of this, change it. And if I try to click on for pro, you see how the data change, and it showed that on Pro the sales performance is steady or a bit kind of declining. You see the line compared to light, the light. Okay, this is for the Pro. The Pro is going up, and this sales, because it looked like the sales is more expensive than the light. And look for the light. So you see the trend line, how it has gone over time. Hello, hello. All right. A call came in, so I don't want to lose you guys. So let me go back to my Excel. All right, our dashboard is fully ready. We can still do a lot of touches on it, and let me clear this slicer here for the model, and we can. What just happened? Where's our slicer for the? Let me bring it back with Control Z. Control Z. I don't know what happened, but control wise, then I'll bring it back. Let me go bring it back for the month. See, this will happen. I really don't understand what's happening to the Excel. But on the dashboard, I didn't even save. Thank God we had a video now, and I'll share the video later on